All right, let's talk about an NFC Championship game for the ages. This was an absolute nail-biter, a classic. A trip to the Super Bowl on the line, and what we got was a story all about heart, pure guts, and an ending that, honestly, almost nobody saw coming. And at the very center of it all was this one giant question that's been hanging in the air all season long. Could Sam Darnold, a guy who's been bounced around the league, counted out again and again, really, truly lead his fifth team to the biggest game of them all? Well, his head coach, Mike Macdonald, pretty much had the answer ready to go the second the clock hit zero. This quote says it all, doesn't it? He shut a lot of people up tonight. That, right there, is what this game was about. Redemption. And what a performance it was. So, there you have it, the final score. Seahawks take it 31-27. Seattle is officially heading to the Super Bowl. But look, this scoreboard, it doesn't even begin to tell you the real story. It tells you what happened, but the how, is what made this game an instant classic. Because this game, when you boil it all down, was really about one man's incredible journey. It's the story of Sam Darnold and his quest, not just for a championship, but for respect in a league that had pretty much written him off. And to really get it, you need to understand the backstory here. This isn't some hotshot rookie, okay? This is an 8-year veteran. He's playing for his 5th different team. Just last year, his first playoff game was a complete disaster. Oh, and on top of all that, he was playing through a painful oblique injury the entire game. I mean, the odds were just stacked against this guy. And yet, look at this. This was a straight-up duel. Matthew Stafford was doing what he does, just carving up the defense. But Sam Darnold went toe-to-toe with him, punch for punch, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns, and this is the most important number up here, 0 turnovers. In a game this tight, that is absolutely massive. He was clutch when they needed him most. And that mistake-free football was so crucial, because this game was just, well, it was chaos, especially in the third quarter. It felt like the momentum was swinging back and forth every other play. It was just wild. So get this. First, the Rams make a huge mistake. A muffed punt, basically just gifting Seattle the ball in great field position. Darnold immediately makes them pay. Boom, touchdown to Jake Bobo. It looks like the Seahawks might be pulling away. But then wait, a totally boneheaded taunting penalty by Seattle gives the Rams new life. And a quarterback like Stafford, he pounces. One play later, he hits Puka Nacua for a long touchdown. Just like that, it's a tight game all over again. Total whiplash. But all that chaos, all the crazy swings, it all came down to this one moment, one final stand. The offense had done their part, but now the entire season was sitting squarely on the shoulders of the Seattle defense. You could just feel the tension through the screen. 4th and 4. The Rams are driving. There's under 5 minutes to go. If they get this first down, they're in a perfect spot to score and take the lead. If Seattle gets a stop, they can taste the Super Bowl. This is it. This is the whole season. 6. They were on the 6-yard line. Just 6 yards separating Matthew Stafford from the go-ahead touchdown. 6 yards away from crushing the dreams of an entire city. Incomplete. Devon Witherspoon breaks it up in the end zone. The Seahawks defense holds. Are you kidding me? A monumental game-saving stop when it mattered most. The stadium just exploded. That was the play of the game, maybe the play of the entire season. Okay, so after a stop like that, the energy is just off the charts. But the job's not done. The offense has to get back on the field and put this thing on ice. And that's exactly what they did, thanks to another one of their heroes stepping up big time. So how do you close out a championship game? You feed your playmakers. And on this night, that was Jaxon Smith-Njigba. He had an absolutely monstrous game. 153 yards. That's the second most ever for a Seahawk in the playoffs. On that final drive, Darnold just kept finding him for clutch first downs to drain the clock. And Jaxon Smith-Njigba's own words really sum up the whole night perfectly. It wasn't just one guy. It was, like he said, a collective. It was grit. It was passion. It was just a team that flat out refused to lose. And you could see it on every single play. So as the confetti is falling in Seattle, what does this all mean for the big picture? Well, it means these two teams are now headed in very, very different directions. For the Seahawks, the dream is alive and well. They're going to their 4th Super Bowl, and they'll be facing the New England Patriots. For the Rams, it's just crushing, a heartbreaking end to a great season. And you gotta wonder, for their 38-year-old quarterback, Matthew Stafford, was this his last best shot at getting another ring? Which brings us right back to the man of the hour, Sam Darnold. He got his redemption story. He silenced all the critics. He's reached the biggest stage in sports. But the job's not done. And now we're all left with one last massive question. Can the ultimate journeyman finish the job? We're going to find out.